See, one very important thing is that we should understand is that we activities that we are expected to do in life typically fall in one of these four quadrants. So what I've done is on the x-axis, I've put uh, two two sections which are urgent and not urgent, and on the y-axis, I've put two sections which are important and not important. So quadrant one has things which are urgent and important. Quadrant two has things which are not urgent but are important. Quadrant 3 has things which are not important but are urgent. Quadrant 4 has things which are not important and not even urgent. So, can you give me some examples of things in quadrant 1?
Studying for exams.
Deadlines, hmm? Pressing problems, deadline driven projects, stuff like that. Studying for exams, because exams are deadline driven. What do you think would be not important but urgent, anyways?
I think like revising the course, not important but urgent.
Revising the course is not important. It is very important. You have to revise the
It's
course.
very important. So it's quadrant 2 actually. Yes.
Important too. So quadrant 3 would be needless interruptions. Unimportant meetings. You are studying for your exams and a friend comes and says, चल यार थोड़ी देर गप्पे आते हैं, मेरे को पता है किसी ने कुछ बताया, some gossiping, some backbiting around someone, talking about other people while you're working on something which is important. So these are needless interruptions. Phone calls, you're working on something important, you're studying for your exams, or you're doing something that you really love to do, painting something or cooking something, and there's a phone call, and you have to attend the phone call because you do not know whether the stuff in there is important or not. So these are quadrant 3 activities. What would be quadrant 4 activities? Any ideas?
Watching TV.
Watching?
Shows.
Watching shows. Yeah, but see, till the time I'm watching TV for some relaxation, some entertainment, that is okay. When it is that I do excessive watching of TV, when I am excessively on, say, Instagram or Facebook or, stuff like that, that is what becomes Q4. See, a little bit of socializing, little bit of everything is fine. Little bit of relaxation, sleeping is fine, but just sleeping through the day, that is Q4. So then what is Q2? There was one example of Q2 that was given. Other examples of Q2. What could be Q2?
Hobbies. Hobbies. Pursuing hobbies.
That make you happy. Okay. Yes. They are important. They are not urgent. Yes. What else?
Future planning, I guess.
Planning for the future. Yes. So preparing for the exams, planning for the future, building relationships. Now say, मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले कहा कि there was this friend who came while you were studying and that's an interruption. But now when this friend came, this friend was crying, was in a terrible mood. Then spending time with this friend at that point of time is relationship building. So you may want to do that. You may want to plan and go and meet your uncles and aunts and grandparents just so that they are joyful, they are happy. So that is Q2. Spending time in this kind of a session where you clarify what you value and what you do not value. That is Q2. So quadrant 1 is the quadrant of necessity. See, you anyways have to do it. There's a assignment that came just yesterday and it's expected to be submitted tomorrow. So you have to do it. It's urgent and it's important. Assignment carries marks. But Q3 is a quadrant of deception. It appears to be important because many times we confuse urgency with importance. We should be able to distinguish between things which are just urgent and not important. And we should have the courage to say no to those things. Quadrant 4 is the quadrant of excess and waste. And quadrant 2 is the quadrant of effectiveness. This is the quadrant that we should focus on. So when a quadrant 3 activity comes and tries to digress us, to take us away into some time wasting stuff, you should say a no. And you should say a yes to something that is in Q2. The more focus you put on Q2, the better you prepare, the less crisis you will have to handle. The more you work on prevention, the less crisis you have to handle. Better relationships, again, lesser crisis you have to handle. So you should always strive to live above this line, either in Q1 or Q2, and focus on Q2. Q1 has to be managed. Q1 cannot be done away with. There will always be some Q1 activities every now and then. You manage the Q1 activities, but your attention and focus should be on Q2 activities. You remember we just in the beginning of this exercise, we defined our roles and some goals related to those roles. So those are in a way Q2 activities. Many times those goals, we lose sight of them. And we should actually plan to work on those goals on a regular basis. So when we talk of planning, a good way to plan is to plan weekly. So you should plan weekly. You should use a planner like a Google Calendar or an Outlook calendar. And what is important is that this planner should have all the 7 days in it. You should be able to synchronize it with your phone and your other devices, all the digital devices, so that whichever device you're working on, if there is something that you've planned, a notification pops up that, oh, Drupad, you had planned this. So if you are by chance drifting away into Q3 or Q4, you know that you had planned something which was important and you can take notice. Okay. And just like in this example that I've shown over here, you can use categories. So categories can be defined in Outlook calendar, Apple calendar, and even Google calendar, so that you can color code your appointments. It makes it easier for you to just get a quick glimpse and see, okay, today I have a lot of Q2 things to take care of, or I have a lot of relationship heavy things to take care of, or I have a lot of future heavy things to take care of. So it can kind of orient your mind in the beginning of the day itself. Okay. Then when you sit down to plan, what you should do is you should first list down your goals and activities for the week. And this should include stuff that you identified in your mission statement corresponding to the different roles that you play. And it should also include topics like, assignments that need to be submitted, appointments that you have made already or that you need to make, a doctor's appointment, a dentist, or whatever. So all those things should be included in this. So put all the pre-existing appointments in the calendar. For example, I have these classes on these days. You can put your weekly calendar, school calendar, school timetable over there, extra classes, games classes, extra meetings, assignments, all those things you can already put. And then you distribute the other activities, the goals and the Q2 activities in the available time slots. Okay. And then Q3 and Q4, they will find their space somewhere in between. Okay. You have to ensure that there are some free empty slots here and there so that if some new Q1 thing arises, you're able to handle it.